Good evening and welcome to episode 49 of season 9 of Factory Town Pipe Mania, where I have duplicated the berry cake system and moved things around and done the best I possibly can with it. But this is it. We can get 4 in here. 4 at the most, which is a bit of a shame because I would have liked 5 at least. We wanted 10 originally, but I don't have the space. The only other space I have is here, and move this, which was tempting to move the forester for the lumber mills for this, but yeah. So I put 4 in. We're up against the sand here. We can't go any further than that. We have them all working. They're all running. They're all doing things. We have a barn full. I've not connected it yet because I was building this and I got it copied and I did all the bits and pieces for it. And then I looked up and I was like, how do we have 200,000 coins? We were running out of coins. What's happening? And then it dawned on me that we had paused our production. And I come in here and no, we haven't. We unpause this. So why is this not doing its thing? Confused. And then it dawned on me, yes, the books. Here. It's not running. It's all paused right now. Because we have enough here. I did unpause a little bit of it whilst I was waiting for things to go, and I got all my research to 2000 just because I wanted to even up. Far was ahead for a bit. So yeah, so we have this here. And then I remembered, we were going to set up a little thing here where I could click a button and turn on all the books. So we have to go through and click all these and do all this, but I'm just going to go. So that's what we're going to do to start with this episode, and we'll see how we go. This town centre is at level 10, which is the maximum you can get for a town centre. So we know for a fact this is never moving, which is good, because it's on the edge there. We also know for a fact that we can put stuff over here, if we want to, and connect it up, and that'll be fine as well. Although we were going to go left and right with it, so maybe over here. So we're going to go up and down from our perspective with the houses. So that means that when I want to connect up this berry cake production, I could build another tavern if I wanted to and put it on the edge out here somewhere or up here somewhere and not worry about it. So we'll do that. But first of all, let's do this here. So what do we want to do? Well, we want to have these Omni connectors be enabled. Now you can enable an Omni connector a couple of ways. You can obviously click on it and click on the connection here. You can hold Control and click to enable and disable, and that works with any connection. Or you can use logistic blocks to do it. So that's what we're going to do. We want to build. I have it already. I toggle, but we can't. We're unlocked. We're locked. So let's research that. Advanced logistics is highlighted. The game knows. Click. Okay. Game knows. That's weird. Is that highlighted because it's the last thing I went to in here that was locked? Maybe not. No. Advanced logistics lets you do many wonderful things. Many wonderful things in here. Toggles just toggle things on and off, which is exactly what we're going to use here. Inventory sensors can check the inventory of buildings or trains or pipes or anything. Ball functions are evaluate. They can, based on other inputs, they can either be on or off. Agent triggers are for when blocks. Basically, I think they're aimed at trains mainly. For when a train goes by, that's what I've always used them for. Trains. They can work with pipes as well. Basically, an agent trigger is anytime something enters this block, it does something. And by something, I mean it can be a train, it can be a worker, it can be a minecart, it can be an item in a pipe. When you put it down here and something enters this block, this will trigger and do something and send information. Information like, what just passed inside me? What was it? What does it contain? So if it's a train, it tells you how much is on the train. If it's a pipe, it tells you what item was in the block. So you can use that sort of thing for if you've got, say, I don't know, flour coming down a pipe and it goes, hey, this is flour, and it will change things up here to say, right, flour goes this way, and then grain comes down. Oh, it's grain, goes somewhere else. That sort of thing. A logic lamp is a lamp that just turns on and off depending on the state. Useful if you want to physically see your contraptions working. Set state allows you to set the state of a block without changing it. I'm not going to go into huge details what these things do here, but basically things like the counter and the number, you can have these count how many items go through. Set state will change that without causing it to output somewhere else. So if you have a counter block that counts up to say 10, and then when it hits 10 it does something else, your set state can change it without it triggering that something else happening. So, you know, if you've got it, if it goes up to 10, then open up this thing, and then if it drops down below 10, do something. So your set state could put it down to a 9, and it wouldn't do the thing that it does when it comes under 10. That sort of thing. Trigger is a trigger. It just causes another block to do something without changing any of the block there. So it would cause a counter to pulse forward, but without add a number to the counter. Counter counts up. The number block is a number block that can be set by other blocks with a physical number to it. So it could be like a math block, for instance, can set a number block. You can build calculators in this if you want to. The if block is exactly what it says. It's if you put values into it, and if this is greater than that, then send a 1. Otherwise, don't. The inverter changes it from a true to a false. So if you're trying to count above 10, but you actually realise your thing wants it to be below 10, rather than have to refigure all your mathematics out, you just put an inverter in. Math block is a math block, so that's what it says. The signal gate will only pass if it's open, so you can have a very complicated setup happening, trying to figure things out, put it to a signal gate, and have another set of complicated blocks doing something. And if one is true, it will turn on the signal gate so the other one can work. But if it's not, it will turn on the signal gate, and then whatever the second one does will not pass through the signal gate. Just blocks it. Timer is a timer. And a delta block is for, it only sends a signal if what it gets is different. And by that I mean, say you have a math block that basically is just checking, does this barn have more than 10 in it? So every time the barn's inventory changes, it sends a signal going no, 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 and then yes. The delta block will receive all the no's and won't send any on until it changes from a no to a yes. Then it will send it on. The reason that's useful is because it doesn't trigger other information later on, so the counter block wouldn't go up. You know, how many times did this go above 10? You'd want that on a delta block. Or more importantly, you get blue lines. You get blue lines, and I will show you the blue lines. Every time the logistics is triggered to do something, a blue line between the blocks it flashes. If you've got a lot of it going on, you can have blue lines going everywhere. Delta blocks basically means it only flashes when it changes from yes to no or no to yes. So only when the options change and make absolute sense to send the signal, that's what it's for. But we're not going to use any of that. I have got other videos on this and many other things. I've used very advanced stuff for trains and things. So we're just going to go with the toggle. The very simple toggle. I just thought I'd go over them all, make life easier for you, if you wonder what they were. Now, the toggle is exactly what it says in the tin. It toggles a state between no, which it currently is on, and if I click the toggle button up here, yes, with a tick. Turn the camera around, take a tick, yay. And you can toggle it via this here, or you can trigger the output here, which means trigger output is basically, as I said, if I trigger the output now, it's going to send no, no, no. Toggle it and then trigger it, it says yes, yes, yes. Now, another way to trigger it is to hold control and click. And what that does is it changes the state and triggers. So not only does it change it from a yes, from a no to a yes, it also sends a signal out saying, hey, do other things, just by control clicking. Which is exactly what we want. Because we want to just click on this normally, and then click on the Omni connector, which sets an active state. There you go. And now you see it's got a yellow or a white line coming to it. If you click it again, it will say you can remove this, it turns red. But now, when we hold control and click this, see, it is changing the state of the other block around it. So tick, go, untick, don't go. Which is exactly what we want for this here. So let's remove this. Let's build another toggle, and I'm going to put the toggle here because it's just easy for me. And everything is currently off. So we'll leave it in the off state, and then I will just add an active state to all of these. A logistics block can connect to as many things as you want it to connect. So we do that. But let's have this, and we have all of that going on there. All connected to everything. So now if we hold control and click this, all of them turn on, and our books start flowing, and the happiness bolts in, and everything is great. Then we click again, it turns off, and stops everything. Very simple, very easy. You can't see it because of the lines when I'm moused over it, but actually if we click it and then can't show it, but if I trigger the output, which is going to be a no-no, so we're fine with that. See them blue lines? That's what I mean by the trigger. So imagine you had something that was checking a barn for being above 10, just for instance, and you just kept getting one item in that barn and coming out again very quickly, so it was never getting above 10, you would be getting this happening all the time. It would be going flash, 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 flash every time an item went in there. Which when you're say, for instance, hey, we want to turn these books on if this is above something, you'd have all of these buildings connected to the logistics, and then the blue lines will be flashing backwards or forwards across the screen. That's where the delta block comes in. So it will only flash once when it sets from yes to no or no to yes. So that's what I meant by the delta block. So there we go. We now have a trigger, so we can turn on our books very easily rather than me having to click the buttons. It's only 7 buttons. It's not difficult, but you know, why click 7 times when you can click 1? Easy. Also, that's really a stalling tactic. Aha. To make sure this barn is full, which it is now full. Awesome. Everything should have backed up here. Yes, the cake is full. The cake is full. Everything is good. Okay. Let's connect the cake so that we can then enable the books to keep things going. Not that I think we need the books that much. I think we're okay for books, to be honest. But no. So we want to connect into this tavern here, which is difficult because it's in a really bad place. So what we're going to do instead is copy the tavern and put the tavern up here somewhere. So I'm going to run a road up here. This, copy the tavern, bring the tavern up until it breaks the so there. Boom. That's the furthest that tavern can go. Click. Awesome. And that tavern is still connected to 116 houses. Yay. So now we can go underground again and we can look at, oh god, look at all this mess underground of all the different bits and pieces, and I don't even know what, when, where and how. And we want to be coming from here. Do you know what? We're going to do it above ground. We're going to do it above ground. Yes, we are. Let's flatten down this. Flatten down the mountain, which is going to cost us some red coins, but I think we're okay for red coins. Oop. There you go. Right. And then we're going to come here up by 1, so it's outside of the barn. Zoomy, zoomy, zoom. Hopefully missing this one. Kind of missing this one. Kind of running into that there. That's fine. We'll stop there. We can flatten this down as well. Increase the size. Make life a bit easier. And then run this one out and into there, which we cannot do because there's another mountain in the way. Oh, I don't know. These mountains do in the way. This one's a bit more awkward to lower down. Right. I want to come in one lower than that. Build tools. Terrain block down, please. Oop. Nope, terrain block down again. Oop. There we go. And then over to there. Look at that. Awesome. And that's going to send cake. Let them eat cake. Awesome. Which should be 400 coins. Because this is making one every 10 seconds. Okay. And these sell for 100 yellow coins. So every 10 seconds we'll be getting 400 coins, which is 40 coins a second. Which may not seem like a lot. 40 coins a second may not seem like a lot. However, when we have a big backup of it, so we're going to fill that up there anyway. There's all our money going up. Awesome, awesome, awesome. It's going to peak early on, and then it's going to balance out. Let's see, we've got 100,000 coins coming in. Sorry, 11,000 coins coming in, but it's fine. Let it go up. It will drop because we are not producing enough cake to keep everyone happy. I do not remember how much cake we wanted to produce to keep everyone happy. I'm sure I wrote it down somewhere, and then I think I've deleted the sign since then. Nope, here it is. Nope, that's great. That's great. Yes, I think I've deleted the things. What was this? What was this? Berry cake. So berry cake is 90 and 120. So 90 plus 120 is 210 divided by 2, which is 105 because of our consumption rate. And then divide that by the amount of seconds it takes to make the recipe, which is 10. That means one bakery can deal with 10 houses. So we can only deal with 40 houses, which is nowhere near. Not even close. That's a third of what we have right now. So we're not going to get satisfaction from that. We could build 10 of them and it'd be fine. If I'd have built 5, I'd have then tweaked it with coin boosters to get us up to the 10. Which would have been 100 houses. So, yeah, maybe not, I don't know. We can't really get this to influence this at all. We could upgrade this to level 10. But I don't really think that's going to help us. Although I'm going to do that. We're going to do that right now. We're going to do that right now. Let's pause the game. Let's yoink this. And put this down here. Move our commerce out. Put you in there. Level you up. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, we can't do it. We don't have 10,000 coins. Oh, well. Okay, it's fine. That's fine. Back in there. You want to be commerce. Put you down here. And the reason I do want to upgrade this is because I wouldn't mind trying to get our fisheries. Not fisheries, our these all in there. Can we do that? Oh well, I think we can. We can put it there. That gets every building. And then this wants to be farming, wasn't it? Oh yeah, farming. Which I don't think affects these at all. These are not farming boosts. These are processing. However, it will increase it with the happiness bonus. So each one of these will now have our current happiness bonus, which increases to 2.8 from 1, which is nice. Our fishery cannot keep up. Running on red coins. Should have really just put people in this rather than red coins because people. I don't know why I did that. You are not using coin boosters. No. Very confused. Oh, this is sugar, which we never. Yeah. Oh, so these two are sugar, which are connected to us elsewhere. Everything else should be working just fine here, I think. I'll pause the game. Yeah, everything should be getting the stupid bonuses, so everything's running at a much higher pace than it should, which means we should get a surplus of all the things. So we're going to start getting a surplus of meat, hopefully, and a surplus of fish. Hopefully. We'll see. I'm not too sure on the meat. I think the meat is the beef. I think the beef is struggling. Struggling for water. That's interesting. Why are you struggling for water? All things you could be struggling for. Why are you struggling for water? Oh, we just flow rates. Yeah, just purely flow rates. Which makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. I don't really have any way to speed up this other than, well, actually you both need to be connected to water for that to work. I couldn't spread these out because the M1s are not being used. The M1s, let's be honest, it's the first sort of 3 that are being used. The M1s are not. So do I have another line down the side, I suppose? We could out of here, do this. Oh, that would be fine. Only water. Like that, perhaps. This is badly done. This is kind of badly done. What I should do is, do you know what? Do you know what we should do? We should invest in a waterway over here. So let's do that. Give me above ground. Invest in a small canal, like so. That I don't think this is going to work. Now I think about it, I kind of think we need more than a small canal. We need a larger one. So let's enlarge our canal and biggen. There we go. And what we'll do is remove our wells. So just move all the wells to be one more. There you go. Right. Does not matter which way the wells are facing at all. They do not care. In fact, to be honest with you, I could just move them all like this. Boom. Go back underground. That seems to work pretty well as it was anyway, but yeah, we're future-proofing. We are future-proofing. Yeah, we just want to do that. Copy. Whoop. Takes. There we go. Zoom. Look at it all go. Bloop, 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 bloop. And that will back up quite easily now, because that's producing way more water than this needs, which is awesome. And the whole reason I've done that, in case you're unaware, wells produce 2 every second. They produce 1 every 2 seconds, that way around. However, there is a thing with them where if you place them near water, they get linked to it, and they gain 1 water per second. Any building that is connected to a water source gains 1 water per second for free. Which means that instead of this producing 1 every 2 seconds, it produces 3 every 2 seconds. It gets 2 from 1 a second from itself, and from the water, and 1 from its own pumping system. So it's a little thing that's not shown in the game, but if it's linked, it just says at the bottom there, water will be automatically supplied. Doesn't give you the numbers, but if I actually I delete that there, we get a new well. Pause the game. I put 1 in there and I put 1 in there, and then we'll look at them. Unpause the game. See this one, 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, and this one is on 2. This has got 7. This has got 2. So in the space of actually, let's let it go around again. Boom, there you go. So it's completed 3 cycles. So for 6 seconds, this one has got 3, and for 6 seconds, this one has got 9. So yeah, it's well faster, well faster. Yeah, same thing for if you put pastures on the edge of the water, they will automatically gain 1 water a second. Kitchens, if they need any building that requires water, if it is connected to one of these blue blocks around the edge, see where you mouse over, get nearby, it turns blue. That means it's a water tile. They will gain 1 water per second automatically, which is nice, very nice. So now you have all the water in the world. You cannot start telling me you don't. So hopefully we will start speeding up, and we will start getting some more meat coming, because we're struggling. Chicken is doing fine. Yep, these are all running at full pace. Not a problem. These are all bonused up to this here, so that should be fine. Okay. We do need to come back and have a look at some of these at the moment because I don't remember. Oh, one cooked beef equals 15 houses. Really? We're not boosting these at all. No. Really? Hang on. One cooked beef is 15 houses. 30. That means we're only producing enough for 90 houses. It's no wonder we're struggling. It's no wonder we're struggling. Ooh, yes. Ooh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. It is no wonder we're struggling. Because the only reason this is actually keeping up even remotely close, if it is keeping up, because I haven't even looked. It's really not. It is keeping up. Is the happiness bonus. The happiness bonus is just keeping it above its head above water. So we need to expand this out, which means coming out this way, flattening some ground, expanding out this way, doing the same here, which means we won't be getting the happiness bonus on that. Although I don't think it mattered to these kitchens because they don't get enough fish in, and I think that's just a supply issue. I think the pipe isn't fast enough. Yeah, the pipe isn't fast enough. So I do want to kind of move these anyway. So we'll do that. We'll do that. So next episode, we're going to expand our meat production. So we get more chicken, more beef, and we'll move our fish away from the town centre. Which means I might as well move this back to here. Like that. There you go. Move that back to there, because then these don't matter. Don't matter if these aren't getting the happiness bonus. They should be running down here anyway. And if memory serves, one is 10. So 10, 20, 30, 90. So we need to expand the fishery as well, which means more fisheries. So this is going to get its own thing somewhere. Not going to be connected to this, I don't think. We're just going to expand this out either side with more meat. Yeah. We've got 2 cotton farms there doing nothing as well. Yep, cotton farms are doing nothing. We've got 2 wheat farms there doing nothing, but we don't need that because we figured out the wheat tiles here. These could do with having some farm tiles underneath them as well now. So that'll be next episode. We'll do that. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. So they are eating cake, which is good. Not enough to keep our happiness topped off, but that's fine. So next episode, I think I'm going to go around actually between episodes and have a look, see at what our supplies are at, because we're getting there. Let's add our other houses, and then I can go around and look at the supply system and see where we're struggling. Try and figure out from there. We're done like that, and I need to put in 6 more houses. So okay, but we'll leave this one here, and we will come back next time, and we will carry on from there. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this one, and I hope to see you again in the next one. And until then, as always, have fun.